Want to create professional, eye-catching designs quickly and easily? In today's video, we're diving into Adobe Express, a powerful, user-friendly tool that can transform your creative projects. I'll show you how to get inspired by browsing thousands of custom templates for your future products, set up a brand kit with your logo, colors, and fonts for consistent branding across all your projects, create your designs from scratch or using templates while tapping into high-resolution dimensions from Printify to ensure your product looks perfect, and learn how to use Adobe Express's built-in tools to add custom elements, access stock images, and even use AI for unique designs. Create your designs from scratch or using templates while tapping into high-resolution dimensions from Printify to ensure your product looks perfect, and learn how to use Adobe Express's built-in tools to add custom elements, access stock images, and even use AI for unique designs. By the end of this video, you'll be ready to not only create stunning designs, but also build consistent product lines for your print-on-demand store. Stick with me and let's turn your creative ideas into real products that sell. To access Adobe Express, all you have to do is follow the link in the description and you'll get 2 months free with the yearly build upfront plan. P.S. It's only $99 for the entire year, which is cheaper than you'll find with the other guys. Once you sign up for Adobe Express through the link, you'll be taken to their homepage, where right away you can start creating content, check out their AI feature, or even browse templates for different inspiration. But if you want to find even more templates, you can click on the Templates button in the left menu. Here you can check out different photos, videos, backgrounds. You can even filter by style or by mood if you want. Now, we know how important it is to remain consistent across your product, your social media content, your brand. So Adobe Express allows you to create a brand kit. You can find that by clicking on Brands right here. And you can add multiple brands, you can create a brand. And when you create your brand, you can upload your logo or multiple logos. You can add different colors and color palettes, fonts, templates, and different assets related to your brand. Now, we know social media can be a really important aspect of your brand. Adobe Express not only allows you to create your different social media content, but you can schedule it all right here. You can find the Schedule button in the left menu, and here you can access a calendar. You can look at a weekly or a monthly view to schedule your different posts. You can even store your different ideas and unscheduled posts. You can learn from Adobe Express in their Learning Center. They've got great articles with short, quick tips and tutorials. And you can add additional add-ons if you want even more features. Let's look at our stuff now. This is where you can access all your projects and organize them into different folders and files. You can create different libraries. And you can favorite items, different templates or design assets, icons, fonts that you like so you can easily access those at any time. Now, let's get to the best part of this. We're gonna start creating. To do that, we're gonna click the plus button right here. And we can either choose a preset template or we can create a custom size. We're gonna use a custom size for the specific t-shirt that we want to create. Here we'll enter the dimensions, which we can find in Printify. I'm going to use this boxy tee as our example. From the product details page, we can click Start Designing, and we'll be brought into our product creator. Right away, you'll see an info box where you can find the dimensions for your product. If you don't see this, you can simply click the little info button right here. We see that the print area size for this product is 3000 by 3413 pixels. We're going to enter these dimensions back into Adobe Express. And then we'll create a new file. So now we have a blank canvas open where we're going to create our t-shirt design. But let me give you a quick tour first. Right away, we can see different templates open here that we could add. We can find stuff from our projects. We can add any assets, colors, fonts from our brand kit. We can upload files from our computer. We can access different media. This includes stock images, videos, audio clips. We can even generate our own image with their AI tool. We can add all of our text. We can find different elements, design assets, backgrounds, shapes, icons. We can even add charts or grids or tables. Okay, let's get to our t-shirt design now. I'm gonna go for kind of a hippie style design today. And first thing I'm going to do is look for a background to have behind my font. So we're gonna go to elements here, and I'm just gonna start by searching hippie flower. Right away, we can see a lot of different ideas, but I'm gonna look closer at the design assets. We can scroll until we find something that we like. I like this one, so I'll click on it, and we see that it's been added to our blank canvas now. We can resize it by clicking and dragging any corner. Now, I want my design to really stand out. I'm actually gonna put this design on the back of the t-shirt, so I want it to cover that entire print area. So we can expand that, and then we can center it. Okay, now I'm gonna take some text and I'm gonna lay that over this floral background. We can find our text button and add text. Now we want to stylize our text. We want to maybe change the font, the color, the placement of it. Right away, you'll notice that Adobe Express actually recommends some different fonts. You can play around with these, see if any of these fit. But if you don't like these, you can go ahead and choose your own font. So I have one chosen out already. And we're gonna go for this kind of retro, hippie font. There we go, okay? We can resize it if we need to. We can center it, we can align it, and we can also change the text layout of it. So we have different options. We can make it dynamic, meaning the spacing and the size of each word will change as you move the lines. We can make it into a circle, we can arch it or bow it, but I'm gonna go with this dynamic text. There we go. And now we can see that each word is sized accordingly. So era's a little bit bigger, hippie's a little bit smaller, in my matches nicely on the lines here. So let's just move this up now to fit our floral design. We'll make it a little bit smaller and we can center that. Okay, now the black text, it's readable, it looks okay, but I think we can make it even better. So we're gonna change the colors here. Now, I'm gonna make each word a different color so it kind of pops against this colorful floral background. But I'm gonna use colors from the background so it kind of all matches those elements. So we're gonna make it this pink color here. To do that, we can change the fill color here, and we can either find a custom color. If we have the colors saved in our brand, we can add it from there. Or we can use this eyedropper tool and we can just select this pink. And now we see the text in my is the same pink as that background. Now I'm gonna do this for each of the words. Hippie, we're gonna make hippie a slightly different color because I want that to stand out. That's kind of the whole theme of this design. So again, we'll highlight that word, select fill. I'm gonna find a custom color, maybe a nice blue-green color, or like a teal. So as we drag this slider, we can see the color changes a bit. Okay, this This is a nice color. Okay. Now, era, we're gonna make that yet a third color. And I'm gonna make it kind of, let's make it this yellow color. So same as we did for in my, we'll change the fill. We can grab the eyedropper and we can select that. All right, it's already starting to look a lot better, but it's still kind of hard to read now. Those colors are kind of blending in with the background. So we're gonna give all of the text a border. We can click outline and we can choose a color for this. Let's just start with white. Okay, looks good. We can change the thickness of the border. By doing that, we make the text even more readable. Okay, there we go. Now, I like this. It's a lot easier to read now. And this would look great on a white t-shirt, but I'm actually going to do a gray t-shirt. So I'm gonna change the background of my canvas to be the same exact color of my t-shirt so I can get a better idea of what it'll look like on the final product. So to find that exact background color, we're gonna go back into Printify and we're gonna select variants in the product creator, and I'm gonna go for this nice pepper color. If we hover our mouse over that variant color, we can find the exact hex code. We'll go back into Adobe Express, click background color in the top toolbar, select custom, and here we can enter that hex code. Okay. So now our gray background matches that t-shirt. I'm not a big fan of the white now, so let's change this white border to that same gray color. We'll click on the text, select outline, and we can either enter that hex code again, or we can just take our eyedropper tool to make things easier. And there we go. Now, like I said, this is the back of the t-shirt. I actually want a small design on the front of the t-shirt as well. So let's go ahead and create that while we're here. We're going to add a new page, which will just give you a blank canvas in this same project. To do that, we can find Add in the top right corner, and we'll create it the same exact size. Okay, so now we have a blank page. On the front of my t-shirt, I want to do some kind of hippie retro sunglasses. To do that, I am going to go back to elements again, and we're just going to search hippie sunglasses. All right, so looking at these design assets, there are a few that I like, so I'm just going to add those to my canvas just to see what my options are, and then we'll choose one at the end. So I like those ones. These ones are nice. Okay, these two are actually quite nice, so let's move these. We can make them a little bit bigger just so we can see better here. Okay, I actually really like the style of these kind of gold and purple frames. So I'm going to delete these other ones. We can make these a bit bigger. Now, I don't want to use this exact element, these exact sunglasses. I want to change it up a bit to better match this back t-shirt design with the same kind of colors and some other elements. So I'm actually going to use these sunglasses as inspiration and create my own element using Adobe Express's AI feature. So to do that, I'm actually going to take a screenshot of these sunglasses. Okay, those will save to our folder. And now I'm going to use that in the AI generation tool. To access that, we're gonna go to Media in our toolbar here and Generate Image. We can just do a square size. Okay. And then you'll describe what you want to create. So let's say I want hippie sunglasses with round frames. Okay. Now that screenshot that I took, I'm going to use it as a reference image so that the AI creates something similar that we already found. I'm gonna upload that to the style here because I like that style. Here we go. Okay, now the AI is going to use this image to understand kind of better what I'm looking for. We can change the content type. We'll say we want a graphic element. And we can even add different styles if we want a digital art, or we can give it different effects like fisheye or isometric. We can give it different themes. But we'll just start with this kind of simple one and we'll click generate. Okay, so while it's thinking on that, it'll give you 4 different results. We can actually make it a bit bigger so we can see it better. So we have some interesting ideas here. If we don't like any of these, we can have it generate 4 more results. Basically, you can do this until you find something that you like, or you might have to play around with your prompt a little bit more to get kind of exactly what you're looking for. I kind of like these ones. These are nice here. Okay, so I'm gonna use this as my sunglasses, but we're still gonna change it up a little bit. So we can remove those now. We're gonna use these. We can make them a bit bigger. Now, again, our t-shirt's gonna be gray, so I'm gonna change the background color to that same gray color as before. Just so we know what it'll look like on the t-shirt. All right, now we see our sunglasses have a giant white background. Usually not a good look for a colored t-shirt. So we are going to remove the background. Okay. And now, I want it to still match kind of the back side of that t-shirt, so we're gonna change up the colors a little bit. Center that. And to do that, when we have the element selected, we can go to effects right here, and we can choose different filters. Now I'm gonna do a custom one, and I'm gonna find those same colors that we had from the front of the t-shirt design, or from the back of the t-shirt. Okay, we can either find swatches, customs, we can go to my brand, and we're gonna go to a different brand because I did save these colors. So I'm gonna play around with those different brand colors that I saved. Like, let's try this orange, and the highlights, we'll choose another color from that design, maybe pink. Okay, it's not bad. We can even switch them around, see what it'll look like. Ooh, okay. So I kind of like this look here. It's starting to match the back of our t-shirt a little bit more. Still not the full look that I'm going for. I actually want black lenses in my sunglasses. So to do that, we're gonna do a little hack. We're gonna go to elements and we're gonna find the shapes. And all I'm going to do is add in a black circle. Okay. So it actually gave us a white circle. We can go to the fill right here and we can change that to black. Now I'm going to move this right where the lens would be. I'll resize it so it fits that frame. A little bit more. Okay, now those are starting to look like sunglasses. We're gonna copy this circle, Command C, Command V. We'll paste it right into the other frame here. Okay, now these are starting to look like some cool sunglasses. Now, I'm not a huge fan of this kind of thick orange down here, so we're gonna still play around with this design a little bit. We're gonna use Adobe Express's erase tool. Okay, now we can either erase with a quick selection, which means that it'll kind of take out different parts of that design automatically, or we can also use a manual eraser. Okay. Now we'll go back to that quick selection. It's a little bit faster. We can, of course, change the size of our eraser as well. We might need to clean these up a little bit with that manual brush. We can zoom into our design to make it a little bit easier. Now it's not perfect, but it kind of works. When we're finished erasing, let's zoom back out here, we can click done and it'll save. Actually, I do want to erase that. Let's go back into the eraser tool and just tidy it up a bit more. There we go. That's a little bit better. We'll click done again. Okay, almost finished. I want to add one more element. I'm actually going to put kind of a hippie flower design inside of these lenses. So I'm going to go back to my favorite spot, the elements here, and we're going to go to all. And again, I'm just going to type in hippie flower, or it saved my previous search, so I can just click on that. And we're going to go to design assets again. And I actually like this first flower that we got here. So we'll click on that. Now I'm going to drag it into my lenses here. And while you're using Adobe Express, if you find that you can't see your design, double check your layers here. On the right side, you can move different layers around and you can hide things, you can layer them front to back. So if you don't see something, check your layers here. So we'll bring that flower right back to the top. Okay, we can resize it so it fits the frame here a bit better. Now, again, we want to make sure the colors in our elements match a little bit better. So I'm going to change the colors of this flower. So to do that, make sure the layer is clicked. We'll go back to effects again. And we're going to choose custom highlights and shadows. So we'll double click on custom. And those shadows, let's go back to my brand kit here because I saved those colors. And let's go for that same blue that we had for the word hippie. Okay. And we're gonna do that for both the shadows and the highlights. Okay, I like it, but now I feel like the center of our flower also needs to have a little bit of a pop of color. So we're gonna do something similar that we did with the lenses. Again, back into elements, we can find shapes, and we're just gonna do another circle. Okay, we can make that smaller, and we'll put it right in the center of our flower. It almost looks like an eye, doesn't it? Okay, but I'm gonna change the color of this. So we're gonna change fill, and I'm gonna use kind of that same orange that we already have in our sunglasses. Now we have a nice flower. Okay, now I'm going to put this same flower in the other lens by selecting both of those layers. So if we click on the center of the flower, hold shift on your keyboard, and then click on the flower, we see that both of those layers are selected. I'm going to group those so it kind of moves and works as one element. And then I can copy and paste it as one. And now I can move this flower into the other lens, okay? And I'm gonna have a little bit of fun with it. I'm gonna make the flowers kind of going in different directions in each lens. So all I'm going to do is flip this element. We can flip it horizontally or we can flip it vertically. All right, I think I'm finished. I really like these sunglasses. So now let's take our t-shirt designs and add them to our actual t-shirt. So to do that, we actually want to make the background color now transparent, okay? Because again, we don't want a big box on the actual t-shirt. So we'll click background color. Under swatches, we can select the white square with the red line. This just means that there's no fill, and now we have a transparent background. We're gonna do that for both the front and the back side of our t-shirt. Now we can download our designs. We can either download one at a time, or if we click on the page view, we can see all of our pages here. We can select both of our designs at once, go back to download, and we're gonna want a PNG. This will give us that transparent background and it'll be best for our t-shirt here. We'll click download. Okay. And we can find that in our folder here. We can double click this. Now it opened up the folder, and here we can see both of our designs. Let's go back into Printify now in the product creator. Now I can either upload from here or I can simply drag and drop my designs in there. We'll find our folder again. Okay, so let's start with the front here. Okay, now if we need to still adjust some things, we can do that. We can adjust the size here, we can move it around a little bit. Okay. And let's add the design to our backside. Now, I do want to point out one thing. We have the design only on the front right now. We see the production cost is about $17, $18. Now, you do have to pay for each additional print area that you use. So when we add the design to the back, let's go ahead and do that. You'll notice that the production cost actually went up a little bit. So you're paying per print area. Okay. Again, if we need to, we can adjust this a little bit, move it up or down. We can make it bigger, smaller, but I kind of like where it's at. Okay. We can select our size variants here. Let's see what it looks like in the preview now. Okay, we can give it a more realistic view. This will be a little bit more accurate as to how it'll look when you actually print the product. Let's take a look at the close-up to see our sunglasses. Now these are high resolution images, that's why it might take a little bit of time for them to load. Okay, now I like the way the sunglasses look, but I do think they're a little bit high on the t-shirt. So we're gonna go back and edit this. We'll go back to the front side here, and we're gonna move it down just a little bit. Let's see what this looks like now. Okay, this looks a lot better, and I'm actually really happy with this design, this t-shirt, so we're gonna save our product. Now, of course, we're not all making t-shirts, we're making other products as well. So I'm gonna use kind of this same idea, these same styles, and I'm gonna make an all-over print or AOP product, and we're gonna make a pair of shorts. Now, I'm gonna go back into Adobe Express, and we're gonna add just another page, another canvas, right from here, from our pages. We can also do that back in the main canvas by adding a page. And I'm actually going to make this a slightly different size. I'm just gonna make this a square, okay? Now, I'm gonna create kind of a pattern design here in Adobe Express, and then I'm gonna show you how we can even extend that pattern with the pattern tool in Printify's product creator. So we're just gonna make this canvas a size. We actually don't need to add a new one. We can resize this canvas. We can click resize. Let's just say 1,000 by 1,000. Okay, and then we'll click resize. There we go. Now, again, I'm gonna use some of the same elements that I had from that t-shirt design, so we have kind of a nice t-shirt and shorts set. So I'm gonna start by creating the background of this pattern. And we're gonna use that same kind of floral background that we had on the back of the t-shirt. We can either find it in elements again, we can copy and paste it from here, or I actually have it favorited in my stuff where I organized everything. You'll see that we have it here as well. But if we find favorites, now I can quickly access this specific asset. So we'll click on that and it's been added to our canvas. So let's start by making this just a little bit bigger. All I'm going to do is work on the background of the pattern. So I'm going to copy and paste this specific element a few times and kind of put them together like a puzzle. Now we see that these edges don't match up. It might have kind of a weird line. So I'm gonna take this element and I'm going to flip it so that our yellows match. Okay, and kind of drag those like that. Okay, now my goal is to get kind of a full yellow flower circle here. Now I'm going to drag my cursor over both of these. We can move them down a bit. And I'm gonna copy and paste both of these elements at once. Now, we see that our edges are not lining up, so I'm going to flip these again, like so. And we can line it up a little bit better, just like that. Okay, I like that. I'm gonna drag my cursor over all 4 layers, and we'll just group that into one nice element. We'll see here in our layers panel as well on the right that all 4 of those were grouped together. Now we can resize all of them at once if we want. We can copy and paste each of these multiple times. And now we see that our pattern is fitting together like a nice puzzle. Okay, so let's just do that a few times. Okay, so I've created kind of the background pattern. I'm gonna add one more tiny element. I'm actually going to take the flower from my sunglasses and use that in my pattern as well. So we can simply copy this and paste it right onto our canvas here. I'm gonna add these flowers to my yellow circles here. We can resize it, place it how we want, and I'm gonna do that for each yellow circle. Again, we'll copy and paste that. I'm gonna have a little bit of fun with each one. Let's make them going in slightly different directions. We can flip it, we can rotate it a bit. We'll center that, and we'll just keep copying and pasting our flowers. Okay. I really like the way this looks. Again, we want to have a transparent background here as well. So we'll change that. Okay. And now we can download this and bring it into the Printify product creator. So we'll download our pattern. And again, we want to download that as a PNG. Now, our product, I'm going to do a pair of shorts here. So we will drag in our design that we just created. Okay. Now, we can either resize this exact pattern to cover the full print area. We can fill it to the print template here, but I'm actually gonna do a little bit smaller, and I'm gonna use our pattern tool. We can either click the Create Pattern button up in the top toolbar, or we can find it right here in the Layers panel and toggle on Create Pattern. Now we have a full pattern. We can adjust the pattern to the spacing if we want, but I like it as it is. Okay. Now we see we have multiple print areas. This is an all over print product. And we'll see that we only have it on one print area right now, which isn't exactly the look that I'm going for. So we're gonna click on the design, and I'm going to apply it to all areas. So now it's been added to every single print area. Okay. Except I don't want it on the waistband. I want the waistband to be a different color, just a solid color. So we can select this specific view and just delete the pattern from here. And I also want to go for that same gray background that we had for our t-shirt. So I can change the background color and I can enter in that hex code. Okay. Now we have that same gray, and we'll see that our waistband is gray. We can also select different variants, so we can choose if we want the drawstring to be black or white, and of course we can select our sizes. Let's see what our shorts look like. Okay, we can see them in a CMYK preview. Again, this will be a bit more realistic. I think these shorts are super cute, and with that gray t-shirt that we made would be super adorable. But I wanna know, do you guys like my outfit? And of course, we wanna save our product. If you ever need more advanced editing, Adobe has a suite of other tools, like Photoshop for fine-tuning images, and Illustrator for creating detailed vector designs. And we've got 20% off for you with the monthly or yearly plan. But for most POD products, Adobe Express should cover all your needs. I hope you feel ready to jump into Adobe Express and start creating amazing designs for your Printify store. But let me know in the comments which features you're most excited about. Now, for even more success, imagine your best-selling design on high-profit premium products.